Well, hello, everyone. I'm Mike Donnelly, and I'm with Barrier Free Contractors. This is the Accessible Barrier Free Homes channel, and I combine it with the Accessing My Home podcast, which is great because I get two for the price of one. And when you listen to this next speaker, you're going to be glad you got two for the price of one. We're speaking and collaborating with some of the best experts in the mobility world, advocates, people advocating and promoting fantastic accessibility solutions, people that have those physical challenges and mobility challenges that are willing to help in whatever way they can. So you're going to hear some really good stuff tonight, and you're going to hear that from Heather Moore. She's a wonderful woman that has undergone a tremendous amount of difficulty in her life, which she's overcome with a tremendous attitude, and I certainly love that. So Heather, it's great to have you, and I'm really looking forward
Yep,
to our conversation. How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. You ready to give some knowledge out there to people?
Yes, sure.
Atta girl.
I'll do my best.
Hey, I know you will. All right. So, Heather, we've done a lot of work on your house, but it's relevant. But my point is, you had to have this done, and you have gone through a whole bunch of stuff. Being in a wheelchair, tell us about your perspective on your life and your house and all the stuff that accompanies wheelchair and wheelchair accessible home.
Well, Mike, this was actually my first house. And I've only been in the wheelchair for maybe 10 years. Before that, I used to be able to climb upstairs and that's a thing. I've always had mobility problems, but I was never quite in a wheelchair before. And when I moved into this house, I wasn't. In fact, I hadn't even seen the house before. My parents, they looked at the house for me because my dog Carly at the time, she was living with me, and she wouldn't like to travel and I wouldn't travel without her. So my parents came down, inspected the house, and of course, there was a step out the front door and a step, there's a step in the laundry room and the one you just fixed into the floater room. At the time, those really weren't big problems, but of course, with the wheelchair, they became problems. I actually had another contractor I met years ago. He built up the front deck, I guess you could say, so that there no longer is a step out of my front lanai, and he built that wheelchair ramp so I can get out of my house. But I just met him out of pure luck. I didn't know your company existed. Probably didn't back then.
No,
This
it didn't.
was
It
like
didn't.
5 years ago. So
Yeah, we were just starting at that point.
yeah.
Well, when Jose and I came into your house, there was still some issues, and that ramp is a real nice ramp. It works well for you, and some of the stuff they do is great, grab bars, etc. But you still had problems in accessing some of your rooms. I mean, you were kind of banging up the woodwork, weren't you, when you're going through the doorways?
Yeah. And it's much better now that you and Jose have widened the some of the doorways, because the people who built this house, I'm assuming it was them, the house was built in, I believe, 1964. It was actually built before I was even born. And I don't think the people who built the house and the guys who lived in the house before me, who I think they kind of fancied themselves handyman and didn't really consider what their renovations would mean to someone who did have mobility issues. And of course, I'm generally all about, making your house for yourself, not for the people who might live there after you. But that is the subject that I think, construction workers, I think they should be aware of that. I don't know why there was necessarily 3 steps in this house. I mean, from a construction perspective, it doesn't seem like there needed to be.
Well, I can tell you this, that I go into many, many houses like yours,
Mhm.
and they're all, and the new houses, by the way, okay? They're the same. There's very few people that do the ounce of preparation thing to get no step entries going into homes, or no step on your lanai. You know what we had to do there. And widening the doorways and putting grab bars up in spots and putting roll-in showers. All of these things are easily done on the upfront side. Now, when you go to retrofit, as you know, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's definitely doable, and it changes your life. Would I be correct in saying some of that?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it used to be an issue for me to get into my bedroom, just because I would usually kind of scrape my fingers when I would roll in. And that's especially if you're racing to get back and forth when you're working, or if
Sure.
you're just in a
Yeah.
hurry for something. So it's not really something you want to worry about. And I'm so glad I
Good.
can get in and out without thinking about it now.
And that's so true. It makes me, that's why I started doing this business, because I knew nothing about this. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing a person like yourself have a little bit easier. And it makes me happy because it actually accomplished something beyond driving a person's ego to getting the next bigger house. So, and you said a number of times that this is the house you're going to live in for the rest of your life.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing to see. I want to quickly talk about, and then we'll leave you alone. I want to talk about that back lanai. That was a really interesting project. Now, folks, Heather had a lanai that's like typical lanai, step down about 3 to 4 inches walking out, if you were to walk out the back sliding door. Well, she happens to have a big room back there. It's a 300 square foot room that really is useless to her. Was useless to her. So she hired Jose and I, and we raised the floor to be more or less equal with the from the kitchen to that room. And all of a sudden now, which by the way, I'm gonna telling you right now, Heather, when I get there on Sunday, we're gonna do a quick video on that floor. I want to show the folks exactly what's happened. But what's nice now is how you can roll right out. Am I correct?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's made a
Much
world.
easier.
I love doing that because I knew the impact that it would have. So really that occurred.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to throw out there to keep people smiling?
No, I think to other construction workers, I just wish that, like you, they would think of some of these things beforehand.
Yeah.
Before you build or before you do whatever, consider if it's really necessary. If there needs to be a step down, okay, can maybe get a grab bar or something. But if there really doesn't need to be
No,
one, then
no, there does
don't
not. And I'm
do
telling
it
you
there.
this, I built 6 of them that considered all of that, and there was no steps. Okay. And
Good.
we're just starting. We're building 3 more right now. They're going to have exactly that. The ounce of preparation, no steps going in, no steps going out, to the laundry room, to the garage, to the entry, to the lanai. The bath is going to have roll-in showers, and there's going to be wide doorways. That's a standard house. And you know what? It costs nothing more to do that. It was just engineered a certain way, and the contractors go in, like myself, and in this case, I happen to be building it. And they go in, they follow the plans, and a person in a wheelchair can exist without any difficulty.
That's good, you know, because I really love all the grab bars you put around my house, because I'm not sure if you're, you know, aware of this really, but no one wants to be in a wheelchair to start with. So, you know, the more you can get out of that chair, even for just a few minutes, the better it is, you know. And
Sure.
with my job at PETA, you know, which I love because it gives me an opportunity to help animals, but that means at least 8 hours a day I'm sitting. But then the rest of the, you know, the day I'm sitting as well, because you know what choice I have, except for what happened to hang on the grab bars. And I do that now sometimes, even if I'm not, you know, necessarily going to transfer into another room or something. I just want to stand up for a few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were very smart. And I know you're even adding more grab bars, but you said it earlier in this conversation, is that this is your house. I mean, you have to live in a way that satisfies what you need to have satisfied. And if you had to put 150 grab bars in, that's what you do. Whatever is necessary to make your life a little bit easier.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's good stuff. Well, Heather did it again. She gave us a whole bunch of information and expertise on what it's like from her side. So Heather, thanks for that. And I want to let everybody know that if this was of great value to you, as it was to me, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to receive our new videos as they get posted. Well, Heather, thank you much, dear. We'll be talking very soon.
Okay. Thanks.